Hello, I once again welcome you to this channel on Linux in practical cybersecurity. The emphasis of this video is going to be around the make directory command in the Linux environment. And I would like to please urge you to like, share, comment and subscribe to help this channel reach as many as possible. We are looking at the make directory command in Linux. In Windows and Mac operating systems, we can create folders using the graphical user interface because they are focused. Their main emphasis is on the graphical user interface. And also in Linux, you can easily create folders using the graphical user interface. As you can see here, I can come here and I create a new folder. I give it a name. I give this folder a new name. An example, I can name this make directory command. Make directory. I name this make directory. Then I press OK. This is a new directory. In Linux, we call these directories non-folders, as in the Windows and Mac OS operating systems. As I told you, once you get well used to the Linux environment, you will not desire using the graphical user interface. You will lose love for the graphical user interface, and you will want to always spend your time in the Linux terminal. And remember very well, we press Ctrl Alt and T to open up the terminal. And once the terminal opens up, we dive deeper into the command line for the make directory command. And first of all, in everything we do is to read about this command. But how do we do this? We simply type man, then MKDIR. MKDIR is just a short form of make directory in Linux. And once you press enter, they give you a documentation of this command make directory, and you can read about this documentation. As you can see here, we have MKDIR as a short form for make directories. That is what it's all about. And we also have some switches here which we can run with this make directory command. As you can see, we can run these switches with this directory. This is the documentation of this make directory command, and we press Q to quit the documentation or the manual page, and we come back. So before dealing with any command in Linux, we first need to understand which version of this command are we dealing with. And if you want to know the version of this make directory command, we simply type mkdir and then hyphen, then we type version. And as you can see, we are dealing with 9.4 version of this make directory command under the GNU license. So that is it with the version of this command. We can also run mkdir and then we run for some help. How can we use this command in the Linux environment or Linux terminal? And here they show you how you can run this terminal. You can just type mkdir, then enter these switches. So that is it. And now we dive deeper into the real working of this command. First of all, we need to understand where we are working. We are in this user's environment, in his directory, and some of the contents of this, we have these, as you can see. Now we dive deeper into making directories. In this user's environment, we can create a new subdirectory by simply typing mkdir, and we give this a name, practical. Let us say practical Linux mkdir, and we press enter. After we list the contents, and after listing the contents, you can see our subdirectory we have created under the users directory. And if you remember very well, we can navigate to this directory by simply saying cd then pr and we press tab. It autocompletes and we enter this directory. And once we list the contents of this directory, ls minus al, we have nothing yet in this directory. In this directory, we can do anything. We can create files, we can create more subdirectories under this directory. but that is how this works. You may want to print a message as you're making a new directory. We can try that and see. Remember when we run MKDIR and we ran for help, we saw this switch. There is this switch. I'm going to try only one switch here. This verbose. The verbose switch helps us to print a message for each created directory. For every new directory we make, we print a message in the terminal, and we can try that by simply typing mkdir -v. Then we name this as Linux MKDIR and we press enter, and as you see, it has prompted us with MKDIR created directory Linux MKDIR, and we can list, and we see we have this directory. This is how the make directory command works in Linux. And I'm also going to speak about the naming convention in Linux. As I told you earlier, Linux is case sensitive. Since Linux is case sensitive, if you want to navigate to this subdirectory, remember it's all in lowercase letters. But if you want to navigate to this directory and you say cd capital L, since Linux is case sensitive, it will not do anything because your subdirectory is in lowercase letters. So once we say cdl and we press tab, we autocomplete, it comes up and we can enter that directory. We can also go back by simply typing cd .. We go back. If you see this subdirectory we created earlier in the users directory, I had underscores. I was using underscores, practical underscore Linux underscore MKDIR. Why was I doing so? In Linux, it is fine. You can create MKDIR and you say Linux make. When you look at this, I just said Linux make, and when you look at the output, we have created different subdirectories. I simply typed make mkdir Linux make. I wanted it to be a single name. I wanted it to be mkdir Linux make. I wanted this to be a single name, as you can see here, attached together. But when I just pressed mkdir Linux make, it created two subdirectories, this make subdirectory and this Linux subdirectory. And as I told you, the naming convention in Linux, if you want a name to be joined together without you creating more subdirectories or more files, we use underscores to join these names. If you don't want to use underscores, you can kill the spaces and you say Linux make, and you make one complete word without any space. It will still make this directory. And as you can see, MKDIR, it made this one directory because we never included any space as we were creating this subdirectory. But if you want to create a directory which is easily readable, you use underscores. Another thing, as I said, Linux is case sensitive. If your subdirectory or file is in the uppercase, you have to follow the naming convention of the uppercase. If it is in a snake case where you used uppercase and lowercase, you still have to go with the naming convention you give to your file or subdirectory. Linux is case sensitive in that way. And this is all about it with the make directory command. In our next video, we are going to look at how we can delete the created directories within our Linux environment. Thank you so much for being attentive. Once again, I urge you to like, share, and comment, and also subscribe to this channel to help us reach as many as possible. I remain Nelson Mivule. Thank you so much.